How's everybody doing? Y'all good? Who didn't heard about this story? Raise your hand if you heard about it already. Raise your hand if you have heard about this story. She said, did you monetize? Yes, I did. Thank you very much. I did. And appreciate that. She said, pin your coffee link. Let me see. Hey, Neo, have you heard about this story yet? I know you be covering the pastors, girl. Have you heard about it? Let me know. Let me pin this coffee link right quick. Copy. Hold on. I just pinned the coffee link. Sorry for being late. I was on the phone with Tinkerbells. Ooh, I ain't gonna be able to get out of that because I want to show this video. Hold on, let me pin it. Give me 1 second, you guys. Give me 1 second. Here we go, you guys. All right, so the coffee link is pinned, and let me just get a goal going. I ain't gonna be on long. I may come back later for something different though. So, but this ain't gonna take long because I'm not gonna go down the whole story. Now, I will say this. There are several, this story is old. Let me just say that first. This story is old. It broke about 2 months ago, okay? Several bloggers, including Tasha K, and that's the one we're gonna listen to tonight, King Giles, and even Let's Talk Blog. She was in here earlier. They covered this, and a lot of other bloggers too, but they covered it extensively. We're now going to cover the story extensively. We're going to talk about what happened, right? What was brought to the internet. But then we're going to get into why pastors do this and why the congregation protect them. Okay, we're going to get into that. We're going to break this down. Hold on 1 second. We're going to break this down. We're going to talk about the manipulation side of it, the toxic side of it. We're going to talk about the contradictions and whatnot, okay? We are going to tell what happened. We're going to let you hear it from his mouth, what happened. But we're going to break it down a different way. We're not going to get into oh, well, this pastor said and that pastor said and so forth and so on. Hey, break room. So, because I know there's she said, why YouTube didn't send me notification? Sometimes YouTube takes a minute to send out notifications. Sometimes it's 5 to 10 minutes in order for people to get notifications. That's why people do like intros and then they just kind of talk a little bit before they get into the story. Okay. But again, there's a lot of twist and turn to this story. I'm not going to get into every twist and turn. I want to just talk about what was brought to the internet and how it played out between himself, his wife, and the congregation. And then I want to get into the whys. Why do pastors feel that they can basically preach one thing and do another? We're going to get into that, okay? So let's put up the young fella that broke this story. Now, the guy name is, well, let's just put him up right here. And then I'm going to bring his picture up. Well, let's bring his picture up first. Hold on. Let's go grab his picture. He is a self-named porn star. Okay, that's what he said he is. He's a he calls himself a professional porn star, whatever that means. I don't know what's the professional part and what's not the professional. Okay, so let me tell you the players in this story that we're going to go over. JRock is the guy in the pink. That's the one that's supposed to be the self-proclaimed porn star, professional porn star. Pastor Frederick Matthews, well, he's the one with the glasses on, right? And his wife, Allison Matthews, is the female. It's the same picture of them down at below. You see her blowing a kiss like life is just great, right? And the mood is banner out the way. And let me just say, everything I said in my mouth is based on my opinion. So it's allegedly, okay? And I'm going off of the receipts that was found on the internet, okay? So again, I'm going to put my opinion on it. I feel like there is enough evidence to speak on this story, so I'm going to speak on it. She said JRock didn't even know Fred was a pastor. Sure did not. You're right about that. Raw truth. He did not know he was a pastor, okay? So this, again, JRock, he sleeps for pay. Okay. Well, I think he's gay in real life, but he gets paid for his services. You know how some people give it for free? You know how some people come on the internet and said there was an unpaid hoe? Well, he's saying that he is a paid hoe. Okay. He's a paid hoe, but he is a paid male hoe. Okay. So there's a difference. All right. And he solicit his services for men. She said the copy link isn't working. Is it? Oh shit. Okay. Hold on. Is the copy link not working? Let me see. Did I put up the right one? Hold on. Share your link. Let's try it again. Hold on 1 second. What about now? Click on that one and tell me, is that working? What about that one? I think that's the one I just pinned up, didn't I? If it's not working, then we're not going to worry about it right now. Oh, don't I supposed to have the www? Hold on. She said it worked for me. Okay, thank you. The coffee link worked for you? All right, thank you, thank you, thank you. Is the one up top working, or do I need to pin another one? Let's see. Yeah, it worked for me too. All right, she said, I can't stand pastors and church folks. They are the worst, worse than the devil himself. So listen. So again, JRock, he sells his services, and he was hit up by this pastor to perform some acts for him, and he carried them out. Okay. Now I'm going to put up some text messages that came from JRock when he found out. Now, let me tell you how he found out. Well, I want y'all to hear how this man said he found out. Okay, I want y'all to hear straight from his mouth. So I have two videos I want to show, and then we're going to get into showing some receipts. So let's do this first. Let's put up a video. Tasha K spoke about it, and y'all know Tasha K is very she puts it on the floor. So this is about 10 minutes. I am going to do commentary in this little video clip that she plays. So we're going to be stopping and going. Okay. All right, here we go. She has him on her live stream. Okay.
Fred Matthews. Okay. Thank you, Jen. I want to say, hey, man. Fred Matthews. Okay. He got a small church. Was just exposed. Hold on for a second. Hold on. Was just exposed by OnlyFans creator. After he had found out that a man that he was allegedly sleeping with was a preacher. Okay. So let me go ahead and roll this video, and then I'm gonna introduce the OnlyFans creator, JRock. Okay. Winos, be ready. Go ahead, Jackson.
Okay, y'all want to come at me? Let me tell y'all something. And for the ladies and stuff under my comments, I'm gonna get to how loyal of a church member you are to anyone. Y'all's pastor on multiple occasions has been by me. I never met this man ever outside of me. The 3 times that I did. I never knew this man was a pastor. I never knew this man had children. I never knew this man had a wife. I didn't know any of these things until yesterday. I've been with this man for almost a year now. Okay? I find it to be very disgusting that a man can come and get nothing by me and then go home and lay in the bed next to his wife as if nothing happened. I don't care how God-like it is or any of that. One thing you cannot do is knock me, because if it was your husband, if it was your wife, if it was your dad, you would want to know. And this man, when I watched, and somebody sent me a live yesterday, because y'all know I watched church services. I watched the church service for the first time ever that I watched Triumphant Church yesterday. Never even been there a day in my life. Never even knew this man. Never even knew this man's name until yesterday. And I went and watched it, and I immediately, the first thing that came to my mouth was, oh, this the man I be. That's what I said out of my mouth. No shame. I can only be as real as I can be. I used to sit on this app and expose DLD back in the day. It's no way possible that y'all gonna even attempt to make it seem as if I'm on this app line. Girl, I don't have time today.
All right.
Okay, so listen. He didn't even know the guy was a pastor. He literally was sent a link, a website, hey, watch this. So he clicks on it because he watched church services online. And he was sent the church service from this guy. right? It was Pastor Fred Matthews. That's how he found out that this guy was a pastor. He saw him preaching and he's like, wait a minute. This is the dude that I gets with occasionally, okay? He said he literally had been messing with this guy for almost a year, did not know he was married, did not know he had kids, and did not know that he was a pastor. Let's continue.
That was a lie. There was only a snippet of that lie. So the OnlyFans creator, JRock, heard that we were going live and he wanted to get some things straight, okay? And so we have him on the phone. How you doing, JRock?
I'm doing good. How you doing tonight?
I'm fantastic. Why you had to read and drag that man like that? And drag them rumors?
Why did he have to get in his pulpit and drag the homosexuals when he was a homosexual himself?
So let me ask you something. How did you, first of all, you said you've been, you used to sleep with, I guess, other pastors as well too, and you've exposed them as well too in the past.
Well, I had other pastors hit me up trying to sleep with me, and I knew they were pastors, so I had exposed them, but they were openly gay pastors. So
okay.
It was a different situation.
So how did you meet him though? Because you said you didn't even know his name.
He hit me up on Jack under the profile name Ryan.
So apparently there is an app called Jax. Jax is where these men hook up and get together with these male OnlyFans guys that, play for pay, if you know what I mean. So yeah, if your man got Jax downloaded on their phone, then you might want to start asking him some questions, okay?
Oh.
And he started talking to me about how much he liked my porn and how he, wanted to always have sex with a porn star, and it was like a little fantasy dream of his. So we started going from there.
So was this a paid transaction, or this is something that y'all both did?
From day one.
How much you paid you?
It's different prices each time, but I can say the most he paid me was $1,250 at once upon the setting.
$1,250. Damn, we in the wrong business, y'all. We all need to grow some pickles and just go out there and what these $40 hoes need to go sit down somewhere. This man out here, when you be a male, let me stop. I'm just saying that is a high-paying career, okay? $1,250. Damn, baby.
She definitely should. Forgive me. He boo-booed on my penis.
What the church is money?
What the church is money? He's saying the reason why he don't want to step down is because the money that he making from the church is the only income that he has. But in the text messages, he told me that he was running out of money that month because he had money set aside for his dick appointments. I was using up all the dick appointment money.
Did you hear him? He said, this man said he was using up all the dick appointment money. I'm gone. I am dead. That Joker got dick appointments. Oh my God.
These text messages.
Yeah, I got them.
Drop them to my DM right now. So obviously he's seen the video. Have you since you went off? And has he reached out to you or no?
No, he actually had a third party reach out to me and attempt to quiet me because his wife allegedly went and attempted to commit suicide. So they were trying to get me to be quiet and not say nothing else because of what was going on. And like I said, he brought that upon himself. His wife doing what she did was brought on by him, not me. I just came to the world and told my story. Can't nobody tell.
So after it broke, the wife allegedly tried to take her own life. Okay, allegedly. Okay, this is from his mouth now, y'all.
I'm wrong for telling my story, no matter who it involves.
So what made you out him? Was because you came across a sermon and he was preaching against y'all? What was it?
Yes, it wasn't even just a preaching against the homosexuality. First of all, I'm a preacher's kid. I've been a preacher kid since birth. Mm-hmm. And to see another man stand in the pulpit And you know, our churches nowadays are the pastors are only going to church for money anyways. And I hate going to a church like that because it's souls that really need to be saved. I'm a type of person that when I go to church, I really go to church looking to be delivered. I don't go to church looking to be delivered to my bedroom. I don't need a message being delivered to me saying, hey, I love watching you and I want you in my bedroom. The whole time I'm a pastor, I'm a bishop. And in his case, bishop, he's a bishop in the Pentecostal church. That's the highest level you can hold in the Pentecostal church. It's bishop. And then after telling me that the reason why you won't sit down is because that's all the income y'all have, that's even more like wrong. Like you telling me that you're only in there doing this for money. You're not doing this because you were called. You're not doing it because you are anointed. It's not giving up. Jesus called me and I'm doing this because this is my call. And no, it's I'm making this much money and me and my wife taking off this money. We send our kids to college with this money or we need this money. Maybe it's time to go to the unemployment line or you need to go to a job fair because bishoping ain't gonna be it.
So you just take down bishops. And so
It's not gonna be too many more that I'm gonna need to take down because they're gonna start dragging them one by one. But in this case, they told me that he had an allegation like this 6 years ago. And I'm not gonna say mine's an allegation because it's proven.
So mind you, he's already been accused of this before, 6 years prior. Same wife, same church, okay? Still there, even to this day.
But he had allegations 6 years ago. And he went to the sermon, he had his sermon that next Sunday after the allegation and made a joke about it in the pulpit, ran across the pulpit and just tried to play it off. And the wife, because she didn't have concrete evidence, they didn't take effect to it. And that's how I feel like this situation would have been. If I would have went directly to the wife or would have went directly to the church or the family, it would have been brushed under the altar and nobody would have said nothing about it.
So you just try. I mean, it's outing him. Do you feel like it's Pride Month? First of all, happy Pride Month, y'all. Do you think outing him was the right thing to do, though?
Yes, because our churches are so silent with what our leadership is doing because we're trying to protect our leadership. Let's start protecting our leadership and protect our own souls. Because the Bible says if the head is wrong, the whole body is wrong. And I don't want to be led. I don't want to be led by somebody that's not going to heaven. How are you going to try to lead me somewhere that you're not going to?
Did you use protection?
No, he asked me specifically to put my children. This is his statement. Put my children in his hole is what he wanted me to put.
He wanted the kids to go in the hole. Okay, fire in the hole, fire in the hole. He wanted the children in the hole, y'all. Now, y'all just gonna have to use your imagination. What type of hole he wanted them kids to go in, okay?
My children in him.
I don't even know how to come back from that. This between y'all and this Diddy shit, like this is crazy. You ain't never had TD Jakes up over there.
If I had TD Jakes,
just asking. We got to ask.
Somebody said, but you taking his money. Let me clarify something.
Okay.
When we was paying me, I had no idea of his real identity. I never been to his church. I didn't run across him on social media. And the one time that I did run across the post, I didn't know exactly. This is when we first started talking. I didn't know exactly if that was him. So I did DM him from the text line number and say, hey, is this you? Are you a pastor? And at that time, the text line number was no longer active, so I couldn't get the clarification. But the next time I seen him, I clarified it through his voice. I was like, okay, yeah, that's definitely him, the face, the body, the deal, everything. And then the person whose Airbnb I was staying in came to the Airbnb while he was exiting the Airbnb. And like she just told me, she said, I seen him in the hallway when I was getting off the elevator.
You want prep or something? Because I didn't sleep with it.
Yeah, I'm an advocate for prep. I'm actually working with the Nashville, with the New City Prep Team tomorrow with Pride in Nashville. So I advocate for prep. I've been taking prep since before I was doing porn.
Okay. And did you record these encounters with him or no?
No, but there is a video of him entering and exiting the Airbnb. Also, we just got in contact with the Airbnb owner of another Airbnb that's down the hall with ring cameras.
So there is a video of him entering and exiting the Airbnb. Now, you're going to hear him say that the pastor said, yeah, that was him, but as he was entering, he thought about it and he became convicted in his spirits and he turned around and didn't move forward. I don't know what y'all think about that.
The ring camera footage of him coming directly off the elevator because he went. So now he's confessed to his leadership, but told the leadership that he was in conversation with me and that he came to the Airbnb in the parking garage but felt convicted. And when he felt convicted, he exited the garage and didn't come in. And that's incorrect information because when you came in, not only did you come in, but I came in you and you shitted on my dick.
Thank you so much, JRock. We appreciate you. I know you got to go to an event. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Okay, bye. That should have been for Tasha K. Live.
All right, so he said that he lied to his leadership, okay? So apparently in the church, there is leadership, right? I guess somebody's over the bishop or whatever. So he admitted, yes, that was me on the ring cam, right? It was me on the ring cam. But I got on the elevator and I was walking toward the place or whatnot, and I felt convicted and I turned around. So basically he's saying that he was going to do it. He was going there to get bent over, okay, throw it back in a circle, but he felt convicted knowing that he got a wife at home, a female wife at home, and some children. This man got kids. This man has children. Let me put up his photo. This is Bishop Frederick Matthews, okay? He is a pastor in Nashville, still the same damn church, okay? He is a pastor. Let me tell you the name of the church that he is a pastor of. It is, give me a second. It is, what's the name of the damn church? Something synagogue. Hold on. What's the name of the church? Give me a second and I'll get you the name of the church. But anyway, it's out of Nashville, okay? It's a Kojic, a Pentecostal church. What's the name of the church? Anyway, I'll get it in a minute. But he is still the pastor, okay? They set him down for a minute, but, you know, he lied to the congregation, lied to his wife, lied to his leadership, basically saying, yeah, I was going to do it. Then I changed my mind because my spirit started talking to me and stuff. And yeah, I was speeding and then I changed my mind and said, nah, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. What's the name of the damn church? Anyway, but let's put up what JRock came and basically exposed of this man, okay? He first took to the internet, okay, under his own profile. Now, he is, JRock is he calls himself a professional porn star, and he also is an OnlyFans, member, I guess. So he comes to the internet. This was back a couple of months ago, and he says, so the name of the church is Triumph Church, okay, Church Triumph in Nashville, Tennessee on Old Hickory Boulevard. He says, so the pastor of that church, Triumph Church on Old History Boulevard, is JRock. He has paid me multiple times to have sex with him. I never knew his name, nor did I know he was a pastor until I was watching his church services online. I never knew he had children nor a wife, and I would like to apologize to his wife. Again, his wife is Allison, okay? Allison Matthews. I would like to apologize to his wife for putting my children in his hole each time he asked. I pray that God deliver y'all pastor from his wicked ways and he turned back to Christ. Allison Matthews, Alexis Matthews, Derek Anderson Jr. So he not only exposed the pastor, but he tagged the wife and his children. He tagged the wife and his children in his exposure posts. Now, of course, he started getting a lot of backlash because the church folks came forward. A whole lot of church folks got mad, started calling JRock a liar, okay? You a liar, that didn't happen, oh, you're going to hell and all this stuff. Y'all know how these people do it, right? They did not want to believe him. So he went on King Giles. Now I'm not going to play that one because that's over 2 hours video. But if you want to see it interview, you can go to King Giles. He's on YouTube, but I don't want to play no 2-hour video. But he basically just said everything he just told Tasha plus more. Okay, he gets very vivid, very explicit in explaining what all happened. Okay, how, as you know, he wanted to be treated like a female. Okay, he wanted to be talked to nasty and treated kind of roughly or whatever by this man JRock. Okay, while having a whole wife and children at home, but not only having a wife and kids at home, but also in the pulpit preaching to a whole congregation. Okay, this man is a bishop. This man is a bishop. Okay, still is same church and everything. All right. She said, Miss, I just real the pearls completely off. So anyway, yes, he wanted to be bent over and he wanted to be skeeted in. Okay. So a lot of people start saying JRock was lying, right? And y'all, if y'all don't know gay people, one thing about a gay person, especially if they are telling the truth, and to be honest with you, I do find a lot of same-sex people they ain't afraid to come out and tell their truth. They will come out and say what it really is. You understand what I'm saying? They ain't trying to sugarcoat. They ain't trying to sprinkle sugar on it or anything. They're like, yeah, this is what happened and when. So now let's look at, okay, so they started calling JRock a liar. People were not believing him. And even during one of the interviews, he could not find the receipts. They were like, well, where's the receipts? Where's the receipts? He was like, I can't find it. I can't find it. I can't find it. But y'all, how this man gonna come back now with some receipts? Now, again, before these receipts, the bishop was denying everything, saying it wasn't true. He didn't do it. Just lying. Y'all know how that go, right? Until JRock produced the receipts. Now these receipts don't say that they actually had sex. But what the receipts do say is they communicated a transfer of money to each other. Now let me open up and see can I get all the receipts, because I only got a screenshot of this, but I do believe I can get all the receipts. Hold on. Now I know he deleted a lot of things because they came after him real hard or whatnot. He even thought that his life was in danger. That's just how much the church people got involved and literally wanted the head off of JRock. They were so mad that their pastor got exposed. Let me see if I can bring these receipts up right quick. Hold on. Give me a second. But well, we don't have to get into all the receipts. Let's get into what these receipts right here. Let's say what it says, and then we will talk about how he had to come forth and admitted to being in contact with him, right? Because he had to after these receipts released, right? He could not deny it anymore, right? Okay, so hold on. So this is what the receipt says. The receipts start off saying, it looks like it says, right, I see you live. This was back in January of this year, okay? January 17th through 18th. It said, y'all bishop, okay, JRock put, y'all bishop is a SISSY, proof in the pudding. Ask him where he was on January the 17th through the 18th. Oh, in Memphis. And the thing about it is, he kept telling the wife, Allison, JRock did, the porn star. He said, ask your husband where he was on this day. Ask him, grab your husband's phone and see if he have the app Jax on his phone. Ask him, right? Sometimes I believe that these wives just don't want to know. Because, baby, the way I would have been grabbing that phone, you understand what I'm saying? The way I would have took out that calendar to see where my husband was, you know what I mean? The way I would have been investigating, the way I would have been questioning. So anyway, he says, ask your bishop, where was he on the 17th and 18th of January? Oh, in Memphis. Okay. He says, right, I see you live. Good morning, waiting on my okay, so I'm assuming that the green is JRock, okay? And the gray is the bishop. That's what I'm assuming, okay? Now, it's kind of hard to read, but let's try to get through this. Right, I see you live. And the bishop says, good morning, waiting on my direct deposit. That's why I haven't reached out yet. And he says, okay, well, I'm going to have to catch my flight before it's too late. When is the flight? I'll let you know when it hits. That's why I said last night, I'll let you for sure today, because this is not uncommon for them to post it late. Okay. And then he says, I don't know which one goes first, but he said, you still ain't got it? I changed my flight for free for standby at 1. And then the bishop says, not yet. This always happened, which is why I hate working for them, but it pays good, so I ain't quitting. And then JRock says, oh. And then he says, yeah. And then JRock says, well. And then, oh, it gets smaller. Hold on. I need help with this one. Let me see. I got to. Ooh, just keep. Ooh, it got blurry. Hold on 1 second. Okay, so when I do it like that, ooh, Lord, it got blurrier. Well, anyway, hold on. It says, good morning, waiting on my direct deposit. That's why I haven't reached out yet. Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to catch my flight before it's too late. When is the flight? I'll let you know when it hits. That's why I said last night I got you for sure today, because this is too common for them to post it late. And then he says, dang, if I can do to when my money posts. And then he says, sorry. And then another snippet, it says, I'm not holding. Look, you the man for real. And then I can't see what the hell it's saying. So anyway, it gets smaller and smaller as I try. But nevertheless, after these posts were posted, okay, between him and JRock, right? The pastor and JRock, the pastor had no other choice but to come out and tell his leadership that, yes, that is me in those text messages. Yes, that was me on camera coming out of the Airbnb elevator. That was me. But he said, yes, I did reach out to him. Yes, I did plan to hook up with him, but I felt convicted all deep down in my spirits. So I left. I did not go in. JRock said that he did go in. And not only did he go in, JRock said he went in as well. Okay. So my thing is this. First, the pastor, bishop, whatever you want to call him. First, he denied it outright, flat out denied it. Matter of fact, not only did he deny it, let's say what he said, because these preachers be tripping me out with this right here, honey. This was the message that he first came out with. And he has since posted it again. Okay. So I think he just posted it not too long ago. Actually, no, this was posted back in June. Oh my God, I swear these men kill me with this right here. But he posted on June the 17th. Now, of course, this is before he got straight up busted. He says, over 25 years of pastoring, I think I've been accused of just about everything under the sun. Now, tell me who in the comments who this sound like. If this don't sound like TD Jakes, I don't know what, right? It didn't happen overnight, but with time. I learned to stop defending myself and start ignoring the noise. Because the truth is your fruit will outlive the gossip. Let them talk. Keep standing tall. Stay focused on the mission. Keep building what God told you to build. Let your integrity speak louder than their lies. Time has a way of proving what is, because at the end of the day, fruit never lies. Is this not this must be like a script in the pastor black book or some shit, right? Why do they all come out with that same, the truth will set me free type bullshit? This joker on June the 7th posted this with a picture of him, I don't know, looking as happy as he want to, okay? But basically, he's saying that he's been accused of a lot of things under the sun. He's basically saying that it wasn't true without saying it wasn't true. You understand what I'm saying? This is another one of those riddle rattles. Let them talk, okay? He knew he was guilty, But he came out and said this, and not until the text messages and the video footage of the Ring camera came back showing his face did he admit to his leadership in the church that yes, that was him. Yes, he had contact with this porn star. But again, he felt convicted, turned around, and didn't move forward. Now, my opinion, I believe that he did do what JRock accused him of doing. I believe that. Okay. Now, and I don't even see how his wife don't believe him when this is not the first time that he was accused of doing such thing. Now, some people in the congregation still call JRock a liar. They got up under his comments and they attacked him terribly. They started coming in his live streams and just start going off on him, calling, you a liar, you're a liar. And, you know, they love to say, oh, you know what, touch not my thou anointing, do my shepherd no harm and all this stuff or whatever. Instead of talking about what's really going on. This pastor is in the pulpit preaching against homosexuality. This pastor is saying what will happen to these people, right? He even had a sermon talking about people living double lives. He literally had a sermon about it, you guys, preaching about living a double life, going home to your family one way while out in the streets being a whole different way. He spoke on that. But no one knew he was talking about his own story because he was talking about himself. All right. So why does this happen? Why do they feel when they get into these positions that it's okay to turn around and preach and try to judge somebody else for the way they're living when they are engaging in the same activities in which they speak against, in which they preach against? It is wrong. And so many of them do it. This is not just Bishop Matthews. And if Bishop wasn't exposed, guess what? He probably would have hooked up with someone other than JRock. JRock was probably, I'm not even going to say his first, but he would have gotten with someone else and then someone else and then someone else. Or he could have still been getting with JRock here and there. You understand what I'm saying? If he wouldn't have been exposed, but he was. And this is not his first time. And he posted some bullshit like, I've been a pastor for over 25 years. This man is still, let's put up his profile. He's still on social media right now as if nothing happened. Let's pull him up. Let's pull him up. Look. He's still on social media. The last post was August the 3rd. He posted something August the 3rd. But this was a while back that he posted, but that was in 2024. He's still out and about, still preaching. Let's get to one of his sermons. Still doing his thing. Still hanging out. Still doing his thing. Still loving on the congregation or sleeping with them or whatever he's doing. He take a lot of pictures with a lot of men. God damn, do you hug on any other women? Oh, that must have been like an all-male thing or whatever. So anyway, but he's still preaching, still, doing his thing or whatnot. Nothing changed. That's his wife. That's his wife. She's still with him. Now, they say she tried to commit, suicide, okay? And try to do that. Now, he didn't step down. They sat him down for a minute, but then turned back around and stood him back up. And he even started receiving awards and stuff, after they stood him back up. They started giving him some type of an award in the church, in the same. And y'all, this joker, I ain't even see this until now. Why he my husband, frat brother? He my husband, frat brother, Lord Jesus. Oh my God, I can't wait to tell Jay that. But look, still in the church, still doing the same thing he was doing before. And it looks like by the pictures that the congregation looked like an older crowd. And he got black and white people in there, right? an older crowd of people just basically overlooked what this man was doing and accused of doing, and just overlooked it. Just didn't even pay that much attention to it. I don't know if that's the wife or not, but didn't even pay that much attention to it, you know? Got kids in the church. He got children in the church. Let's hear what he got to say.
Good morning, family. It is Triumphant Tuesday, and I want to remind you of this quick thought. God never wastes a battle. That setback, it was a setup. That delay, it was divine protection. That pain is producing purpose. Here's the truth about spiritual battles that all believers.
Now, wait a minute. This was in July. So this was after the scandal was released, you guys. This is in July. So he made this statement about that setback after he was exposed, okay?
My space. It's going to bring out who your friends are. It's going to show you who your enemies are. More importantly, it's going to show you things about yourself and your own character. But through it all, it's going to show you who God is. Romans 8:28 says, all things work together for the good of them who love God. Not some things, but all things. Even the things you don't understand, the things that hurt. God is still in control. So today, on this Triumphant Tuesday, walk like you're triumphant. Not because everything is perfect, not because you're not feeling a certain kind of way, but because the God in you has already given you victory. You're not just going to make it. You're going to rise, you're going to recover, and you're going to reign. I want you to hear me loud and clear. God loves you more than you could ever imagine. Not because you're perfect, not because you've done everything right in your life, but because he chose you. He sees you. He's fighting for you. And he's not done with you yet. So I want you to remember the scripture says,
if this little speech don't scream, I'm guilty as hell, I don't know what. Can y'all tell? Can you actually tell that this speech screams, I'm guilty as hell? I did what they accused me of doing. This speech screams that to me.
all things are working together for your good. That means the pain, the pressure, even the problems. God is weaving them all into your purpose. Now, before you click off, let me encourage you. Don't just stop at all things work together for the good of them who love God, but keep on going to verse number 39, because it says, nothing shall be able to separate us from the love of God. Not death, life, angels, demons, things present, nor things to come. Nothing can separate us from his love. Not your past, not your mistakes, not what they said, not what you even feel. Nothing. Today, walk triumphant, not because life is easy, but because you are deeply loved by God, who is working behind the scenes on your behalf. So come on in here and say this loud with me. I may not understand it all, but I trust the one who loves me through it all. Come on, get up in faith, stand in victory, and remember, you are loved by God. You are seen, and you are unstoppable in him because you are triumphant. So go ahead, walk in that agape love and win on this day. You are triumphant.
So that's his speech after all of this exposure, right? I mean, to me, that, you know, just the words he's saying definitely makes him sound more guilty. Raw Truth said there was a video leaked out where one of the young men, a fine light-skinned brother, was bending him over in the bathroom, getting it in. Now, that's just crazy. Now, I didn't see that. I didn't see that video, and I don't think I would want to. But that's crazy. But guess where he's still at? In the church. Guess who he's still a pastor of the same church? Guess who's still members? The same people. Guess who he's still married to? The same lady. Yeah, nothing changed. All this exposure came out about this pastor, and he is still in the pulpit. Okay? She said they just busted another pastor and is indicating them from running a multi-million-dollar sex trafficking operation. Ooh, send me the information on that to me. Send that to my inbox, please. Thank you. But this is crazy to me. Nothing changed. This man admitted to being in contact with a porn star. This man admitted that that was him on the Ring camera footage, but lied and said he was convicted and turned around. Wow. All I can say is wow. Wow. Just wow. Neil said, send it to me too. Just wow. I mean, I'm just floored that nothing, it's okay. And, do I think that they should be judged differently than anybody else? No, but I don't think that they should be in no leadership position speaking to the congregation. No, I don't. I think this man and he's married. Look at this man. This is after the allegation, y'all. This man over here laying hands. Oh, let me put this up right quick. On people, babies. What? Laying hand and praying over people's children. Anyway, all I'm saying is, yeah, okay, couldn't be my pastor, but I'm not that big in church. What is this? Hold on. Did it just buy a house? Now she tried to KI herself, they said. She tried to KI herself. So this is after the exposure. It says, somebody help me give God praise. And they always seem to try to go buy their wife something, right? Like Bishop Gray. Bishop Gray went and bought his wife a Lamborghini. Y'all remember that? A $200,000 Lamborghini after he was exposed of cheating. Now, he wasn't cheating with a man, but he was still cheating on his wife. So he said, somebody help me give God praise. It's been 3 years since we purchased our third church property. And tomorrow we celebrate 3 years of ministry serving the Madison community. In this short time, over 300 souls have been giving their lives to Jesus Christ. To God be the glory. I wholeheartedly believe the best is yet to come. Let's go. So they done bought a third church. And this is after the allegation. After this man was exposed online. His wife is leaning it into him and dressing like he is and holding a sign that says sold. And his wife is not even an unattractive lady, right? She's a beautiful woman, but she ain't what he wants. She's not what he desires. Now, I don't get it because she has a hole too. I don't get it. But anyway, she needs to come to my next exclusive party so she can get one of them things and help him out. You know what I mean? Look at her. This man is not, in my opinion, he is non-deserving of her. You know what I'm saying? But she's still sticking beside him. That's her man, and she's sticking beside him. Now, I know she got to be highly embarrassed. You know what I'm saying? Your man accused of doing the nasty things and then going to church. And it looks like he turned his comments off. So he every post he does, he turned his comments off. Tell me that ain't a sign of guilt. He turns his comments off, y'all. You want to know why he turns his comments off? Ain't no pastor turning his comments off that thinks he's innocent. He turning his comments off because he doesn't want to read or don't want other people to read what people are saying about him underneath the comments. He turned them comments off because he is embarrassed. He's embarrassed because it was brought to the front. That's why he turned them comments off. This pastor turned them comments off because he knows he's guilty. Okay? So anyway, let's talk about, while I have his picture up, we're going to go down the breakdown of why they do this. Why do they do this? Why do they choose to live double lives? And this is not just pastors, but we're going to talk about a pastor. But why do men choose to live double lives, right? When now they have legalized coming out, being gay. You can't harm these people. You're not supposed to. I mean, like, you can get in real trouble for that, right? People are living in their truth these days. Men are out all the way. If you're going to do that, then why don't you do it and let your wife go and be with someone else, right? Let her go. Let her go head on, right? But this man chooses to continue to be with his wife because it's a good look for the church. Continue to be, had his children, well, he had his kids, no denouncing them, right? But you know what? I think I want this one up. Let's put up the whole thing, shall we? So why? Let's talk about double life of a pastor. All right. So why do they do that? Well, one, for their narcissistic image management. They live double lives because they want what happened in private. They want that kept in private, and they want to be able to come out in public acting a whole different way. Okay. They don't want people to know that they're struggling themselves with this type of sin. All right. Or if they do say things, they hint around to saying things like, God is still working on me. God is still working. They try to use it as justification. All right. They see themselves as the face of the ministry. They see themselves as the leader. So maintaining that image is more important to them than living in their truth. So instead of coming out and telling people that he liked to bend over and touch his ankles and have other people's babies placed in his hole, he would rather just live a double life, right? Be a husband, a father, and a pastor in the public. But behind the scenes, he want to be a whole sneaking link to a whole male porn star, okay? They preach hardest against homosexuality. They come out and say, oh, you know, God said don't do this. God said don't do that. When they are doing the very thing, they are indulging in the very thing, but then they turn around and condemn it. That's projection, okay? They condemn it in church, and I hear a lot of pastors condemning it in church. And now, if I ever go back to church again, which I probably won't, but who knows, right? If I ever hear a pastor start condemning homosexuality, I'm going to raise an eyebrow, because I will say this, not all, but I would say probably some of the main ones that standing up in the pulpit condemning homosexuality is probably struggling with this issue themselves, okay? And they're just projecting, all right? That's what they're doing. But also, double life pastors, they want the power and they want the control. They want the pulpit, they want the platform, okay? Where they are looked at as a leader and head in charge. They have authority, right? They want the power, they want the control, but they don't want people to know that they are living a secret life, okay? Why do they preach against homosexuality while engaging in it? Because it's internalized shame. Again, projection and internalized shame. They may have been raised in an environment where it was said, no, you can't do this type of thing. It was hated upon, disliked, frowned upon, talked down about, right? So instead of just accepting who they really are, they just say, you know what? I'll keep my private life private, but I'll come out and I'll condemn it in public and hope that people think this is what I'm against, when in private, this is what I'm doing, okay? They're feeling some type of internalized shame. They can't live in their truth because they're afraid of what others are going to think about them, whether it's their family, whether it's the church, whether it's their friends. They're afraid to live in their truth, okay? The cover-up strategy, the more they attack it, the less people will suspect them of living it. And that's why I said I'm going to start side-eyeing these people. They think the more they say, it's a sin to do this, you should not be a homosexual, they think speaking it out of their mouth over and over and over and over and over again, right? They think saying it will make people think that they are against it. And that's a goddamn shame, all right? Another thing, spiritual gaslighting. They redefine their action as a struggle or temptation rather than hypocrisy and minimizing their accountability. Like he told his leader, I felt convicted, so I turned around because I felt convicted, okay? I was tempted to do these things, right? They don't want to be held accountable. They don't want to take responsibility. It's called spiritual gaslighting, all right? Why do the congregation protect people like this? Why? The same way flying monkeys protect the narcissists, right? One, they don't want to make it seem like we chose the wrong church. We chose the wrong pastor, okay? They're embarrassed. Don't think for one moment that the church members are not embarrassed. There are, okay? but they're conditioned to see the pastor as God's chosen one above correction. Oh, touch not my anointed, do my prophet no harm. They feared the spiritual consequences. Some people were taught when they was a child. This verse right here means that if you judge or criticize a pastor, right, whether male or female pastor, you will be cursed. I don't believe that. Now, I could be wrong, but I don't believe that you're going to be cursed if you hold your pastor accountable, okay? And holding them accountable may not be you putting your finger out and saying, you better admit that you did this. You better confess right now. No. But sometimes holding someone accountable is saying, you know what? I'm not going to sit in your church under your leadership when you're doing these things. Get your life together and I may come back, okay? Get your life together, but I'm not going to sit here and under your leadership with you're engaging in these type of activities and then you just got exposed for it. But no, they stay there because they believe that they're going to get cursed all because of that one verse, touch not my anointed, do my prophet no harm, okay? They think speaking against the pastor will bring them curse, okay? Also, scapegoating members versus protecting leaders. Regular members get judged and shamed because they're replaceable. Leaders get defended because the church needs them to survive. Exactly. They're going to like, who's going to preach for us? Who's going to be our preacher next Sunday? You understand what I'm saying? A lot of people go to church because they need church. They need that. They need the guidance. They need the leadership. They need that, okay? So they feel like if they judge this pastor and he leaves, then who's going to be their pastor next? Where are they going to go? So they feel like, you know what? I have to stay here and I'll just defend him because I need this pastor to survive. How many times you've heard people swear by their pastor? My pastor said, my pastor said, my pastor said, my pastor said. They always with the my pastor said. Anything that they deal with in their life, they resort back to what they heard their pastor say. My pastor said, I should do it this way. My pastor said, I should do it that way. So some of these pastors have so much influence in people's lives that they live their life by what their pastor said, okay? They swear by their pastor. They need them to survive, all right? Parasocial relationship, members feel emotionally tied to their pastors. He's their counselor, their leader, and sometimes even their father figure. A lot of these people in churches don't have fathers, so they look at their pastor as their spiritual father, okay? To admit that he's corrupt means admitting that they've been deceived, which is too painful for many to face. Just like I said about the flying monkeys. They don't want to feel like we have been protecting a true abuser, a true narcissist. So what do? They double down and triple down on protecting that person because they don't want to face the reality that they chose the wrong church, the wrong pastor, okay? They do not want to say that they've been deceived, all right? The cycle of silence and protection. Congregation, excuses, pastor feels untouchable, more bold hypocrisy and more excuses. So what does that mean? It becomes a cycle. When the church does nothing, when the wife does nothing, when the spiritual leaders does nothing, when the community does nothing, what happens? What happens? He's excused for what he did. The pastor feels untouched. More acts like this will happen and more excuses will come from that. What does that mean? That means he's going to do it again. That means that he will do this again. If a pastor, a leader, or anyone is not held responsible for what they are doing, that's wrong, it will happen again. This is no different. What he did with this young fella is no different than a narcissist abusing someone and getting away with it. If they were able to get away with it, and if people provided excuses for them, they got away with it, they feel untouchable, it will repeat and more excuses will come. Yeah, that's the cycle of silence and protection. Over time, the scandal isn't just about the pastor. It becomes about the system of enablers that kept him covered while members were shamed. Yeah, that's what happened in the church. Or sometimes when you screw up, you move up, or they move you to another congregation, but they still allow you to be the leader over a flock. The fact that he was able to talk to his leadership and tell his leadership, oh, well, I prayed about it and God didn't took it out of my system and I'm good now, right? He is still back in his church doing the same thing, preaching to the congregation, the same congregation. He was not held accountable. They said it happened 6 years ago. He wasn't held accountable for that because the guy wasn't able to bring the right amount of receipts. He got away with it. 2025, allegation. They brought receipts, got away with it. This man right here, JRock, the one y'all see in the pink hat, this man was threatened. This man was kicked out of his own church. Matter of fact, the church that JRock attends, this pastor right here was invited to be a guest speaker at. And guess what JRock's pastor did? Had security stop him at the door and say, you're not welcome in the church any longer. You can't come for security reasons. People want to do harm to you, so you can't come to church. So listen to this. His own pastor, JRock's pastor, basically told him that he wasn't welcome back for coming out with his truth. Now, he was a little explicit in the details of explaining what happened to him and the pastor, so it was a bad look. But they invited the pastor, the bishop. They let the bishop that was exposed for sleeping with JRock be a guest at their church. Yeah, it's a system, a corrupted system that try to protect themselves, protect each other. Yeah, I don't want to be affiliated with that. I don't know about y'all, but I mean, that's just me. That's not me telling nobody to do anything. I don't want to be affiliated with that. Right? So my question to you guys is, if something like that happened, right? If they came out and accused your pastor of doing something like this, and he even admitted that he was tempted, but he changed his mind, would you believe him? Would you believe him? Camera footage, ring footage, text messages. He admitted to being in contact with this guy, an OnlyFans porn star. But yet, he's still preaching to the same congregation. His wife tried to take her life. She couldn't take all of this. She tried to take her life. They still together. So anyway, I think it's abuse of leadership. I think it's spiritual abuse. I think this man needs to live in his truth. If that's what he likes, whatever you like. But I just don't think that this man should be in church preaching against the very thing that he's doing himself. She said, yes, I will believe it. I don't put nothing past these pastors at all. The fruitcake won't be my pastor. Ramlin said, Aretha Franklin's father impregnated a 12-year-old girl and the church protected him. They gave him a bigger church. Most Black pastors still see C.L. Franklin as one of the best pastors ever. And that's a shame. That's a shame. Yeah, they'll do that. They'll do that. They will move you around and put you in a different church. Sometimes even, if I'm not mistaken, this man just received an award. Let me tell you the award he received. It was let me see what award he just received. Look at her. Okay, so we say this. Okay, his wife's beautiful, right? But look at her. And then look at her. This was right after the allegations. This was a month after the allegations came forward. Look how tired she looks. on this picture? Don't she look a little different on this picture than the others? She looked tired. She kind of looked like his mama, to be honest with you, but it's his wife. But she looks tired. She does. She looks tired to me. She looked like, you know, I'm over this. She looks like it, but she's still there. She's still there. How many pastors are we going to see this happen to? We've seen it with Bishop Eddie Long. We've seen it with, well, they accused TD Jakes, but no proof came out. But I don't know why I believe it. I just do. But how many pastors? Let's see what award he just received. It's so many pastors. It's not just black pastors. It's black and white pastors, right? But how many pastors are going to, this is going to come out about? You got to be lying. So wait a minute. Is these his daughters? How many daughters he have? 1, 2, 3, 4 girls? Oh my God. Jesus, mercy, take the wheel. This man got 4 kids. He says, I thank God for my amazing family. Team Matthews for life. Daddy girls, mama worlds. This man got 4 beautiful adult girls and a beautiful wife. Is he crazy or what? What more do these people want? I don't get it. This man got 4, and this was done after the allegation. And in my opinion, y'all know why things like this take place. He's doing image protection, image control. That's what they do. Let me show you that I'm a family man. Let me show you that I love my kids. You know? Let me show you that. Now, what I don't understand, I mean, I know I'm being picky, but why he ain't hugging his wife? She's leaning into him and he's not even hugging her. Don't you think he should be? Anyway, all I'm saying is I don't believe that she is who he wants. I think a man that told another man to put your kids in my hole, he's only there for situations like this to prop up for pictures and to be able to say he has a wife while preaching in the pulpit. That's not who he really wants. She said, you can't be a pastor and live contrary to the word of God. That's what I would think. And I know his daughters has to be embarrassed because he tagged some of these girls. I know he tagged like 2 of the daughters and the wife. He tagged 2 of these girls and the wife. Beautiful family. But let me get back to what was the award that they gave him. They gave him some type of award. And then he's being prayed for. This is in July. This month has been full mentally. Hold on. This month has been full mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Family responsibilities, ministry assignments, spiritual warfare, and pouring out nonstop. Today, as I sat and listened to the word, the Holy Spirit said, stop multitasking and fully engage. If you are a pastor, then you know what I mean. We are always working in our minds or dealing with something, even in the middle of church. So I put the phone down, stopped looking around at who was there, checking to see if everything was operating right. And I opened my heart, mind, and spirit to fully engage. And just like that, something shifted because Bishop Matthews is so strong. I didn't even realize how broken Fred was. If I hear this shit, oh my Jesus. God used my diocese bishop to pray strength and speak life back into plain old Fred, the human. Today's service reminded me of this truth. No matter your title, whether it's bishop, pastor, prophet, apostle, no matter how anointed, strong, or powerful you are, no matter how much money you got or how big or small your ministry is, you still need a godly covering. Some battles cannot be fought alone. Some spiritual assignments require alignment. And some breakthroughs only come when you are submitted under the right covering. So is he trying to say the allegations came out in June? He just needed what God poured back into him. What did he say? How he said? He said, because Bishop Matthews is so strong, I didn't even realize how broken Fred was. God used my diocesan, and I may be saying that word wrong, bishop, to pray strength and speak life back into plain old Fred. This sounds like Bishop Gray when he said it wasn't him that cheated or was flirting with that girl. He said that was the 15-year-old that lived in him. Y'all remember that? Bishop Gray, what's his name? Bishop Gray, John Gray out of South Carolina. He said it wasn't him that was messing with that girl. It was the 15-year-old him. Well, this right here sounds just like it to me. He said, because Bishop Matthews is so strong, I didn't realize how broken Fred was. God used my diocesan bishop to pray strength and speak life back into plain old Fred, the human. So basically what he's trying to say is he did what that boy said he did. And he's trying to say he's human, and he is human. But I just don't think, I mean, I could be wrong, but I just don't think just because somebody come and lay hands on you that you got all those spirits of wanting to be with another man out of you, you know, just like that. You know what I'm saying? I would think that it would take more than that. But then again, you know, I know God can do some things, you know what I'm saying? And I know that if you really, really want it, you know, he did longer than that. But anyway, but I do believe prayer can change things, but this post screams to me, I'm human, y'all. I made some mistakes, y'all. This right here, it cleared it all up, y'all. I'm back on track. That's what this screams to me. Sunshine said, it's a lot of mess going on in the Black churches. I was raised in the church, and the ministry lady who used to pray for my mom who died with breast cancer was sleeping with my stepdad. Damn. Yeah. So anyway. So, hey, Candy Girl. So anyway, I told y'all I wasn't going to be on here long. This story is, you know, the receipts are definitely out there, in my opinion. And then he cuts off the comments after 45 comments. But in my opinion, he did what the young man came out on the internet and said he did. Okay. He did it. And he's just, in so many words, he's saying, I'm human, y'all. I made a mistake. I'm human. I did it. But he's still preaching. Same congregation. He didn't lose anything. And not even lose anything. To me, I feel like he should have sat down for at least a year. I don't know about y'all, but I think so. What do y'all think? Tell me your thoughts. Do you think that he should have been made to sit down for a while? Or even put in a whole different position in the church? Because what he did is not just no small thing. He was supposed to be their leader. And this man was preaching against homosexuality while he was engaging in homosexuality acts. Do you think that he should have been sat down? Even if just temporarily, but I think at least a year, right? Because what is he learning from it? She said, yes, he should have been sat down. I came from a Pentecostal church. And I thought that they were pretty strict in Pentecostal churches. I thought that they were pretty strict. I thought that they took, you know, being a bishop and a pastor a little bit more serious than a lot of other churches, like Baptist churches. So I thought they really, really, really held each other foot to the fire. This picture was also after he was exposed. This is after he was exposed. Yeah, I am looking forward to a power time in the Lord on tomorrow. I will be preaching at 8:30 and 11 a.m. in the morning. Yeah. From a distance, he looks like Bishop Long. She said, yep, set all the way down. Very strict, but church is not the same. I see that. Lisa, me too. I have a story to tell about church. Yeah, so he's in church, reaching his hand out, you know, being covered, People there praying. Look at these people. Nothing happened. No consequences. Now, you know, and I'm saying no consequences. Is God going to deal with him? Of course. Is God already dealing with him? I'm sure. Right? I'm sure of it. Now, I know I saw him getting some type of award, but I don't see it now. So, but he was receiving some type of award. Was this it? No, he's teaching Bible study. Anyway. So, yeah, your pastor out in Nashville, Tennessee is, got exposed on the internet and still doing the same thing. This is when he said what he said, June the 17th. He came out and made a statement about let them talk, keep standing tall, stay focused on the mission, keep building what God told you to build, let your integrity speak louder than the lies. And see, that's to me, how is that accountability? This man coming out here saying, let your integrity speak louder than the lies. He has none. Because if he had integrity, he wouldn't be out here lying. He would say, you know what? I made a mistake. I did it and I was wrong. Point blank, period. Deal with it afterwards. And then he hid these comments. Turn these comments off. Turn these comments off. This is a man that don't want to face what he did. This is a man that don't want to be held accountable for what he did. I have no respect for people like this whatsoever. If somebody was like, Amor, would you like to go to his church? Hell no, I would not. No ma'am, no ma'am, no Sam, no ham. No, I would not. I would not recommend them. Anyway, like I said, this is crazy. The leadership in the church shouldn't be covered and protected just because they are pastors in the church. They should be, and that's why social media didn't have no problem with checking his ass. But did it help? Did it work? No. His congregation came after people, went up under their comments and went ham. If you watch King Jive live on YouTube, while he was doing his live, it's over 2 hours long. There were people from his congregation coming in the comments, going off on this man. This man had to keep stopping his interview show over 2 hours long, had to keep stopping his show and getting people straight in the comments. Why? Because baby, them saints was right there to defend this pastor. They don't like you talking against the pastor. They can't stand it. They feel that it's okay, let God deal with him. He's not supposed to be judged or called out in life, in the real life, in the real world. He's only supposed to be judged by God. Well, I disagree. I disagree. I believe that that's what makes him continue to do what he's doing. That's what makes them continue to do what they do, right? So anyway, that's going to be my commentary today. That is Pastor or Bishop Fred Matthews. He was exposed of living a double life. Not too much change from that. He's still living a damn double. Well, I ain't gonna say he's still doing it. I don't know if he's still with the guy, but he definitely still married. Still has his church. So as far as still living a life, I'm pretty sure he's not messing with that guy anymore. But it's not to say that he's not still engaging in some type of activities. I'm gonna let y'all listen to a little bit of what this guy was saying about him.
This church has worked in 2025. I've been in church every single day of my church has been my life since I was born. So no, that's not how it works. That's not how this works. They would have took care of this matter privately. This man has a mega church. They would have took care of this privately. The congregation would never know. The scripture, the sermon that he preached on Sunday about not having people lay hands on him, that's doing stuff. They didn't know that their pastor is laying hands on them, and he's doing the exact things that he's preaching against. He's selective preaching. He's preaching selective sin, and then turn around. And Lily was just texting me the night before he went to church Saturday night.
Mm.
And you did right by exposing
So,
him.
okay, so you tell me if you had went to his wife and told her, right? You don't think that she would have went to him?
She would have. Y'all missed her. So let's first. If we have to run it down the situation of events, let's do the story real quick.
Y'all read this. You're trying to catch you in a
Just listen. Just listen.
Catch you in a lie. That's what she
can't. No, she can't.
I don't know if you know who I
Basically trying to
asked a lot of questions.
This is Kay.
The way your questions are being geared is basically you trying to call him out. It's like it is what it is.
You don't know me, sir.
So the interviewer is saying, instead of coming out to the public and telling everybody about it, why you just didn't go to the wife. That's what the interviewer is trying to say. And I'm assuming the interviewer must be a church-going woman, because basically she's saying, why bring it to social media instead of just going to the wife?
CEO, go ahead and do your manipulation with someone else to try to get a storyline. What I do on these lives is I ask whatever is in the comments. So that was what was in the comments. Someone just asked that. So with that being said, you don't be on our live bookie, but so sit there and get your little views and get whatever you need to get off your network and shut the hell up if you don't know what you're talking about. Thank you. Now the comment asks, how did
Jay, I'm just gonna
bring it to the church? How did you bring it to the church, and where's the story?
Okay, before we start this, I apologize for
you
her
don't even see that comment.
outburst. I didn't see the comment either. I didn't see the comment.
It's right there. Go look at go scroll up, my love.
Who sent it?
Jay, ask her a question, please.
What was the question?
The church when you brought it to life.
Okay.
Hey, shut up, Dan. It's in the comments. I see it. Let me clarify, Dan. You finna piss me off. Just be quiet for a second, Kay. My God, I want you here because you asked the questions, but sweetheart, just calm down. Nobody on Instagram knows the story yet. I haven't came to Instagram for stories. The question says,
we lie with it.
The question says, how did you take it to the church? Where's the story? This is how it all came about. Yesterday, Sunday, I was sitting and I was in the house. My church, the Loves in the South, was not in-person service. They went and drove to Clarksville, which is 45 minutes, an hour away. I did not attend that service. So that morning, I'm like, because I know I'm not going to the church with them, I'm going to watch. I go to multiple services every Sunday. I go to multiple churches every Sunday. So this Sunday, I need to watch multiple services because usually when you go to multiple churches and the word is for real, they all correlate with the same thing. So I'm listening to Frank Stevenson at Friendship Missionary Baptist Church. Somebody sent me the church to Triumphant Nation, or Triumphant Church is the church of the bishop that we're talking about, right? He was on there. They were singing first or something, and then he came up to preach. And when he came up, I said, he looks familiar. And then while I'm listening, he gets to talking. And you know this bishop, like the cousin of the wife said yesterday on the phone before I even went live, if you know the bishop, then you know his voice. And when I heard that voice start preaching, I immediately, my auntie, I can call her right now, immediately got on the phone. My auntie was already on the phone, but I'm screaming out loud. I said, oh my God, this is the man I've been fucking. That's exactly what I said out loud. And she said, what did you say, Jerock? I said, I've been fucking this pastor. And I proceeded to watch the entirety of it. So I'm watching Frank Stevenson at Friendship, and he ends his sermon. They close the service out, and once that live ends, my sister calls me. And then I let my sister on the phone. She calls me, and I'm telling her, like, girl, I'm finna expose this.
No, this is not the pastor talking. This is Jerock talking. Okay, I mean not Jerock. This is JRock talking. Okay, this is the porn star talking. Okay.
Pastor, it had nothing to do with money, nothing. I said, I'm finna expose this pastor because you know I do not like having sex with pastors or men that have wives. I don't like that. I'm trying to money that I don't like it. It's not my character. I don't do that.
So they like and forget about it.
They was like, oh, Jerock, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. I said, no, I'm going to do that. Mind you, this is Sunday, so I did not do it out of respect for them that you're actually not to. Well, proceeded to the next day. Monday comes, and I wake up and Kay, you got a call Monday morning, if I'm not mistaken. I think I called Kay and Judge because I was up so early and I was so bored. I said, okay, let me go live and talk to my live. And I didn't go live on Instagram, but I actually went to Big O. And while I'm on Big O, just so happened I ran into a girl that I've been knowing since I was in diapers. And she's in the church. So when I'm telling her, like, we speaking about the national churches, and she was asking me about that I watched certain services yesterday, and I'm like, I started telling her the story about what happened yesterday. So I was like, I'm getting exposed and I'm just gonna do it. So me being who I am, I called leadership first. I started to call all my pastors. And if you know anything about pastors, Mondays is their off days. So nobody was really answering. My pastor had just traveled from out of town to come back here after being gone, and the spirit had dropped so heavy in church out there. So she was asleep. The other leadership, they were still asleep. Some were working, some was doing different things. And I decided, okay, I'm gonna get in the shower, but I'm gonna make a post on Facebook. This is how it all started. I proceeded to make a post. I'll read the post out loud to y'all so we can get verbatimly what was going on yesterday. I don't want to make up no false information on no.
Please do it to us, stuff.
Yes, because you know these girls are.
JRock, Tommy said, why did you expose a male preacher?
What's the difference?
So the pastor of that church, Triumphant Church on Old Henry Boulevard, is gay. He has paid me multiple times to have sex with him. I never knew his name, nor he was a pastor until I was watching his church service. I never knew he had children nor a wife, and I would like to apologize to his wife for putting my children in his hole each time he asks. I pray that God delivers y'all pastor from his wicked ways and he runs back to Christ. And I tag the wife and the children, right? That post is currently sitting at 845 shares, 427 comments. It was sitting at 300 shares before I could even get out the shower.
Look at God. And this all on.
Shut up.
So when I got out the live, this was the first live that I made. I went live on Facebook because, mind y'all, I didn't do Instagram because, and Big O, I didn't care for it to be that big. I wanted my community because I know if I go live on Facebook.
So you had tagged his kids?
Yes, I tag all of them.
So you tagged his kids into something like this?
Yep, I did.
How many kids he got? Is they all?
From what I've seen, 3.
Oh, okay.
But so a lot of people see some of y'all. This is why I don't want to sit up here with some of y'all. Some of y'all will sit back and try to kiki and cackle off of the situation. To me, I'm bringing awareness to people. Y'all don't understand. Like I text my pastor, you don't understand the outpour of people. Hold on.
See, when you in leadership, you ain't supposed to be doing this. You supposed to.
Y'all don't understand the outpour of people that have hit me up and told me, like, dang, I'm so glad you did that. My mom would go to his church, my auntie, I go to his church, me and my kids go. Or even how some of the other boys that did not know this man, because to us, we know him as Ryan. Some of the other boys didn't know that they was having sex with a pastor. And not attending his church, but having.
So he was messing with other boys and he was calling. So he wasn't even Pastor Frederick Matthews to these people that he was sleeping with. He was Ryan. He was pretending to be a whole nother person.
People that he know from his church be their friends.
Oh Lord, it's 2025. We exposing pastors. All the pastors, we exposing them.
What you say, Kay?
How did you meet him?
On Jack. He texted me one day talking to me about my porn. He was like, oh, I love watching, but his personal life ain't got nothing to do with the church.
Jack is a app. It's spelled JACK''D. Jack. Okay, that's where these men go to meet these other men. So I guess if you want to catch your man doing some things, you might want to. I don't know, Jack.
It does. Are you slow? How can this personal life have nothing to do with the church and you're a leader of a church? You're a bishop.
So somebody in the comments literally just said his personal life has nothing to do with the church. Do you guys agree with that? His personal life has nothing to do with the church. So they don't feel like him having sex with another man should have been exposed because that's his personal life. What do y'all think about that? Let me know in the comments.
She's so goddamn stupid. Anytime you in leadership.
Shut up, please.
Well, you can't call nobody.
The Bible says, let me be real technical. The Bible says this is why it has something to do with the church. 1 Timothy 3, verses 2 through 12 says, A bishop. This is the rules and regulations to be a bishop, and his title is bishop. It says a bishop then must be blameless, the husband of one wife, sober, of good behavior, given to hospitality, appointed to teach, not given to wine, no strife, but patient, not a brawler, not covetous, one that ruleth well in his own home, having his children in subjection with all gravity. For if a man know not how to rule his own house, how shall he take care of the house, the church of God? Not a novice, lest being lifted up with pride, he fall into the condemnation of the devil. Moreover, he must have a good report of them which are without, lest he fall into reproach and the snare of the devil. Likewise must the deacons be grave, not double-tongued, and let these also first be proved that their own houses well. That is that whole entire list.
Okay, someone wanted to know what did you say in that message that you sent out to his kids about his kids being inside or something?
What?
You said something about his kids being somewhere?
No.
Read the message again that you wrote down.
You said something. She said something when you said something about inside in that message. You told them something stay inside or something.
Okay, so
You
anyway,
said about inside in the message.
so that one, that interview stopped because I think he got annoyed and got off of that one. Let me just let y'all listen to one more interview. This guy was going all around, interviews after interviews after interviews, y'all. And they were people were interviewing him. They wanted the hold on one second. They wanted the story out. He wanted the story out. Yes, but he did tag their children, but the children are adult kids. You know, they're not small kids. They're not babies. Hold on one second. Let me get this one. I thought I tagged it yesterday. Yes, I did not. It's one more interview. Oh, here it goes right here. All right. All right, let's get this one.
Baby, I'm going to the board of bishops. Baby, you have to be a bishop no more. You don't qualify for that. You don't qualify to be a bishop. You don't qualify to be a husband. I mean, you qualify to be a daddy because hell, I mean, being a daddy is, you qualify for that. We ain't got nothing against that. That wants to do anything. Remember that. I'm going to the fullest extent. Baby, I'm going to the board of bishops. Baby, you're not gonna be a bishop no more. You don't qualify for that.
All right, let me read this one. Hold on.
The president can't do everything that he wanted. Y'all keep y'all mouth shut and think, oh, everybody do this and everybody do that. No, baby. The president can't do everything that he wanted to, and the pastor shouldn't either. The pastor definitely can't because it's the BIBLE, because that's the book for me. The Bible is right. You got to be wrong, okay? Don't play with me. That's my point. What are you getting out of it? And tomorrow is going to go on. They don't care how many demons do this every day. See, that's the game. They do care. I could get you at my message story right now of people that go to his church thanking me saying they'll never be back to his service because of this. I brought awareness to it because the other bitches want to do it. I ain't scared. I'm not one of those. But if you don't want to be late to rest in this Amber Patton, you don't want me to read you for your rights, please leave me alone. Okay? Leave me alone, honey. Mind your business. The bottom line.
So he was going off on people in the chat. He was definitely going off on people in the chat. Now, him and his wife has been married for over 25 years, okay? The man should definitely be ashamed of himself, putting his wife through this bull crap. They have been married for over 25 years, and she had to be subjected to that. All right, last one. Hold on. I know I said that was going to be the last one, but hold on. Let's see if I can hear this one.
Lady says stuff under my comments. I don't give two fucks how loyal of a church member you are to anyone. Y'all's pastor on multiple occasions has been fucked by me. I never met this man ever outside of me fucking him the 3 times that I did. I never knew this man was a pastor. I never knew this man had children. I never knew this man had a wife. I didn't know any of these things until yesterday. I've been fucking this man for almost a year now. Okay? I find it to be very disgusting that a man could come and get nothing by me and then go home and lay in the bed next to his wife as if nothing happened. I don't care how godlike it is or any of that. One thing you cannot do is knock me, because if it was your husband, if it was your wife, if it was your dad, you would want to know. And this man, when I watched, and somebody sent me a live yesterday, because y'all know I watched church service. I watched the church service for the first time ever that I watched Triumph in church yesterday. Never even been there a day in my life. Never even knew this man. Never even knew this man's name until yesterday. And I went and watched it, and I immediately, the first thing that came to my mouth was, oh, this the man I be fucking. That's what I said out of my mouth. No shame. I can only be as real as I can be. I used to sit on this app and expose DL men back in the day. It's no way possible that y'all gonna even attempt to make it seem as if I'm on this app line. Girl, I don't have time today. I'd rather sit over here in your 20s with over $20,000 in debt, a degree that...
Oh, that's Tasha K and her commercials. Lord Jesus. Tasha K gonna stick a commercial in there. Oh yeah, she finished it out with a commercial. So anyway, but this is anyway, that was his exposure on, and it got deeper than that, y'all. I will say it did get deeper than that. He started getting death threats and things of that such, kicked out the church, like I said, and it got deeper than that, but I don't really want to go down the rabbit hole. King Giles, this guy right here, let me show y'all. This guy is the one that helped break the story. This guy, so he went on his interview for 2.5 hours.
It's raining up here.
If you guys are interested in seeing the interview, please catch King Jive's show on YouTube, and he has the entire interview, okay, of everything this man say happened from A to Z. She said this is deep. Yeah, it is deep. It's deep, and he just basically got deeply exposed. Okay, this pastor got deeply exposed. It wasn't no, oh, it could be, or it might have been, or no. This man got deeply exposed, and yeah, he's still in the church. He's still married. He still got his kids, and he's still preaching. All right. So nothing happened to him. But anyway, I guess that's going to be all, y'all, until the next one, baby. Because listen, I think it's wrong. I wouldn't be following him nowhere. I wouldn't follow that man to the mailbox, but that's just me. But I think it's wrong. I think that, you know, you can't be a leader if you're doing things that you are preaching against. I just don't think that at all, you know. So that's all. Thank y'all for coming out and listening to me talk about Bishop Fred Matthews, Dirty Dog. Oh, Dirty Dog, okay? Thank you, Sonia, for the love. Thank you, Rita, for the love. Binky Bink, Niecy, Tinkerbell, Ms. Nels, Reese Cup, and Jamaica. Also, I had some coffee chat senders. I think they were, let me tell you in a minute. I think one of them may have been, well, let me just see. I thought I saw it. Let me check right quick. It is Monique. Thank you, Monique. And who is this person? It just says someone. Let me see who that someone is. Y'all know y'all don't like to be leaving y'all names sometimes, which is fine, but I want to give you a proper shout out. Hold on 1 second. Who was it? Who was the other person that sent the super chat? It just says someone. I'm trying to get it to come up, but it's taking its time. It was Rita. Thank you, Rita. Thank you so much, Rita and Monique. Appreciate both of you guys. And also, thank you, Yasmin, if you're in the comments, Yasmin and Penny, for my coffee this morning. But that's all we got on this story. I may be back later. I may be, we might be playing games tonight. So if you guys are feeling festy, but I want to go get a walk in. And then when I come back, we will, I may go back live when I come back from walking, okay? Love y'all. Talk to y'all later. Hit that thumbs up button for your girl. Bye now.
Cause they can't make $1 without mentioning down one of our names.
She kept talking about that family.
Hoes over there clapped out,
She kept
man.
talking about that family. She kept talking
Internet
about that
gangsters.
family. She kept talking about that family. She kept talking about that family. That family. She kept talking about that family. Talking about that family.
These motherfuckers got me wanting to listen. Cause they can't make $1 without mentioning down one of our names.